Lying over there, the king of Dongxing Kingdom shouts, "Who's there? You dare launch a sneak attack on this king?" At that moment, the Grand Elder and Ning Tian descend in front of the king of Dongxing Kingdom. With a smirk, Ning Tian says to him, "Lord Lin Ba sure can take a fall." The king of Dongxing Kingdom looks at Ning Tian and exclaims, "The legendary patriarch?" At the same time, he thinks to himself, "Damn it! What is the demonic sect up to? Even this disaster star has shown up?" Then he asks Ning Tian, "May I ask what brings the patriarch to our Dongxing nation?" Ning Tian replies calmly, "Oh, nothing much. I just think it's time Dongxing had a new ruler." Hearing this, the king of Dongxing Kingdom is visibly shaken, sweat forming on his brow. He nervously asks, What do you mean by that, patriarch?" Suddenly, a man runs in, breathless, and shouts to the king of Dongxing Kingdom, "Your Majesty, bad news. Thousands of Tianqing's elite troops were completely wiped out by a mysterious army clad in black armor that can unleash lightning." The king turns to him in shock and demands, "What? Have we found out where this army came from?" At that moment, countless soldiers in black armor appear, standing behind Ning Tian. Seeing this, the people around them cry out, "What's going on? A rebellion? Is this war?" Then, one of the black-armored warriors steps forward from the army and speaks to Ning Tian, "Patriarch, the armor you forged for us is incredible. Not only can it resist regional attacks, it can also release powerful lightning strikes." With just one clash, they were utterly crushed. And on the other side, Lin Tsung stands silently. Then he asks Ning Tian, "Patriarch, this is your army?" Ning Tian replies, "Army? No, they're just disciples of our demonic sect." As Ning Tian speaks, the man standing beside him suddenly shouts, "No, we are not just disciples of the demonic sect, we are also disciples of the patriarch." At that moment, all the soldiers raise their spears high and shout in unison, "All, the Thunder Armor Legion!" The king of Dongxing Kingdom, now furious, yells at Ning Tian, "Ning Tian, even if you're the patriarch of the demonic sect, isn't suddenly attacking Dongxing Nation going too far? Or is this all at Luo Wuqing's command? You pair of shameless dogs, if you dare threaten Dongxing Nation, the Righteous Alliance won't let you off." Ning Tian responds calmly, "Ha! You speak so righteously. I should applaud your thick skin. Lin Ba, don't waste your breath. You secretly colluded with the Righteous Alliance while pretending to curry favor with the demonic sect. Did you really think we didn't know? Our sect's disciples were repeatedly hunted by the Alliance. Wasn't it you who leaked their locations?" Hearing that, the king of Dongxing Kingdom becomes visibly shaken and blurts out, "You? How did you?" Ning Tian immediately turns to address the remaining people, "Everyone. I have no intention of waging war. It is the Lin royal clan who stoked conflict between the Righteous Alliance and the demonic sect, driving the world into chaos. They are unfit to rule Dongxing. I give you my word, as long as you remain obedient, once this is over, Dongxing Nation will remain peaceful and unharmed." No sooner do the words leave his mouth than the king of Dongxing Kingdom charges toward Ning Tian in fury, shouting, "You want to wipe out the Lin clan? Dream on!" Ning Tian stands still, quietly watching the king rush at him. With a faint smile, he activates Wind Thunder Thousand Dragons. As the technique activates, an overwhelming storm of thunderbolts bursts from his body. Seeing the surge of power, the king of Dongxing Kingdom thinks to himself, "So this is the power of the Nine Tribulations Emperor? If that lightning hits me, I'll be reduced to ashes." He then punches himself hard in the chest and activates the technique, Blood Shadow Flash. Dark blood pours from his mouth and he transforms it into essence and blood, using it to form a clone. The clone takes the brunt of Ning Tian's Thousand Dragons attack. Having narrowly escaped, the king retreats to a safe distance and yells at Ning Tian, "Ha ha! So what if you're the Nine Tribulations Emperor? I still dodged it." Hearing that, Ning Tian looks surprised and says, "Is he insane?" Then he starts thinking, Lin Ba is still a first-star divine emperor. Dodging one attack from a saint emperor isn't that strange. Suddenly, Ning Tian realizes something and thinks, "Wait, did he say Nine Tribulations Emperor? Ah, I see. He can't see through my cultivation. With the previous rumors and everything, he thinks I'm like my wife, also a Nine Tribulations Emperor. No wonder he hesitated to fight right away. Ning Tian then says to the king of Dongxing Kingdom, didn't expect you to have some skills, dodging an attack from this emperor. And inwardly, he chuckles, hey, guess I'll play along a little longer. On the other side, the king of Dongxing Kingdom, now furious, yells at Ning Tian, Patriarch, I admit your strength is formidable. But using just these kinds of attacks to deal with the Lin royal clan? Dream on. Ning Tian, now visibly angered, snaps back at him, I don't believe you can dodge all of my attacks. If you can, I'll let you live. At the same moment, the king of Dongxing Kingdom responds, deal. You said it. And Ning Tian thinks to himself, got him. Then Ning Tian and the king of Dongxing Kingdom both rise into the sky, surrounded by a cold mist. Ning Tian attacks the king using Supreme Primordial Palm. A massive palm surges toward the king at incredible speed. The king once again uses Blood Shadow Flash, creating another essence and blood clone to absorb Ning Tian's palm attack. Watching from below, the Grand Elder mutters, I really don't get it. Patriarch could clearly end him in one move, why toy with him like this? Meanwhile, the king of Dongxing Kingdom continues dodging Ning Tian's attacks. As he moves, he thinks, they say only one chosen by fate can challenge a Nine Tribulations Emperor despite a huge gap in cultivation. Ha! Who would have thought I, Lin Ba, am such a chosen one? At that moment, Ning Tian appears before the king, gathering energy in one place to launch a final attack. He says to the king, Lin Ba, right now, your body's completely drained of blood essence. You can't even channel spiritual energy. I'm about to unleash my final strike. What will you do? The king of Dongxing Kingdom laughs and replies, ha ha ha. At worst I die, but you, legendary patriarch, are different. A mighty Nine Tribulations Emperor being dodged so many times by a mere one-star quasi-emperor. That'll be the shame of your life. At the same time, he thinks to himself, if I dodge this next one, I can escape. Then I'll pay him back 10, no, 100 times over. Then Ning Tian says to the king of Dongxing Kingdom, yeah, I guess it is a bit humiliating. But what can I say? With that, Ning Tian uses Void Step and vanishes from sight. In the blink of an eye, he reappears right in front of the king. Caught completely off guard, the king of Dongxing Kingdom panics and shouts, one step through the void? At that moment, Ning Tian draws a sword from within his robes and slashes straight through the king. The blade cuts cleanly through his body. Leaning in close, Ning Tian whispers in his ear, actually, my real cultivation is only at the Saint Emperor level. The king of Dongxing Kingdom, stunned and wide-eyed, gasps, what? Then Ning Tian asks the king of Dongxing Kingdom, why don't you have a taste yourself? With those words, he forcefully drives the sword deep into the king's body. Blood begins to spill from the king's mouth. He struggles to ask Ning Tian, you really only have. But before he can finish, Ning Tian cuts him off, you're right, Lord Lin Ba. As a cultivator in the sacred emperor realm, I am too weak. Because I couldn't land a single strike on you, it is indeed a disgrace. Then Ning Tian lets the king go midair and watches him fall. The king of Dongxing crashes hard to the ground. Lying there, coughing and barely alive, he says, ha, what a great heavenly demon sect master, cough, cough, what a clever scheme. And with that, he dies. Ning Tian then slowly walks toward the fallen king, sword still in hand. Standing beside the lifeless body, he says, it's not that I plotted against you. It's just that you are too foolish. Killing the emperor doesn't necessarily make you the emperor, does it? From a distance, Lin Tsang stands trembling, voice cracking as he says, Father, is dead? As the dignified ruler of Dongxing, a one-star quasi-emperor, you fell so easily. Then the Grand Elder walks up to Ning Tian and asks, Patriarch, what should we do now? Ning Tian calmly replies, exterminate the whole Lin royal family. If ordinary citizens do not riot, then their lives can be ensured to remain unchanged. Just then, a disciple clad in black armor shouts, Patriarch, isn't it a bit cruel to exterminate them all? Ning Tian turns toward him with a sharp, stern gaze and says, "Do you know that your current mercy will become the blade that will kill your fellow disciples years from now?" The Lin royal family has deep ties with the Righteous Alliance, and the massacre in Chifeng City that day was also their doing. The disciple lowers his head and says, "I have been too merciful." Then Ning Tian addresses everyone, "Always remember. Although we are not absolute villains, we are also not absolute good people." Hearing this, the disciple straightens up and says with resolve, "Understood, Patriarch." Meanwhile, murmurs begin to ripple through the crowd. Our emperor died just like that, in such an unclear way? To be honest, Lin Ba never did anything for Dongxing Kingdom. It doesn't matter who becomes the emperor, as long as we ordinary people can survive, right? That's right. And this patriarch has a good reputation. He also said that he would not target us. Hearing their words, Ning Tian thinks to himself, "I didn't expect these ordinary people to be so understanding." At that moment, someone steps out from the crowd and says to Ning Tian, "I have long heard of the patriarch, and seeing him today, he truly carries an extraordinary presence." Ning Tian turns his gaze toward him and asks, "Who are you?" The Grand Elder then approaches Ning Tian and says, "Patriarch, this person's cultivation is beyond my comprehension." Hearing that, Ning Tian remains silent. The man then says to Ning Tian, "I am Qinggejiang, merely a wandering bard on the Tianxian continent, and I have heard Tianmei speak of the patriarch. Because of this, I compiled the known deeds of the patriarch into a story and shared it in the Dongxing Kingdom." Hearing that, Ning Tian thinks, "No wonder these people don't harbor much hostility toward us." Then Ning Tian asks him, "You just mentioned Tianmei? Are you from the Tianbao Sacred Land or Tianbao Pavilion?" He replies, "It is true that I am friends with Tianmei, but I am not from Tianbao Pavilion. I am just a humble wandering bard." Ning Tian directly questions him, "Speak. What is your purpose in sharing my story?" The man answers, "I simply feel that the deeds of the patriarch are very well suited to be adapted into a tale, so I did it." After saying this, he starts to walk away. As he leaves, he says, "The legendary patriarch of the heavenly demon sect, may we meet again by fate." And as the man walks away, Ning Tian calls out to him, "Wait a minute." But the man immediately vanishes from the scene. The Grand Elder then approaches Ning Tian and asks, "Patriarch, should we tail him?" Ning Tian replies to the Grand Elder, "Forget it. Although this person is mysterious, there doesn't seem to be any malice for now. Let's first arrange matters in Dongxing Kingdom properly. You select a few upright and capable individuals to quickly take over the affairs currently handled by the Lin royal family. We must ensure that the lives of the people in Dongxing Kingdom remain unaffected. If there are any cases of corruption in the court, deal with them immediately. Do not show any leniency." The Grand Elder answers, "Yes." Suddenly, a disciple rushes in and says, "Patriarch, we discovered a beast in the underground prison of Dongxing Kingdom that we've never seen before. It has a massive presence, and is extremely ferocious." Upon hearing that, Ning Tian immediately says, "A beast? Take me to see it." With those words, Ning Tian and the Grand Elder begin heading out. From a distance, the man watches them leave and murmurs, "Although it is hard to discern his true strength, he is definitely below the Divine Emperor realm. Yet to be able to kill a one-star quasi-emperor, the patriarch of the heavenly demon sect is indeed formidable." Just then, Sister Tianmei appears beside the man and says, "To receive such praise from the master of the Tiangong Pavilion, one of the top 3 powers in the heavenly dome domain, it seems he is indeed quite impressive. Does Master Chen have thoughts about him?" The man replies to Sister Tianmei, "I do, but I dare not act recklessly against the heavenly demon sect's Empress. After all, I am just a down-and-out bard." Sister Tianmei frowns slightly and says to him, "After all, you are a respected 9 Calamity Emperor, so don't be overly modest." The man responds, "This is just right, as I have been looking for a suitable successor for my heavenly divination technique. If this patriarch is suitable, I might consider him." Hearing that, Sister Tianmei looks a little surprised and says, "You want to pass on the heavenly divination technique to him? That is the highest skill the Tiangong Pavilion keeps hidden." The man says, "Let's see if it's fated." "Thank you, Master Tianmei, for being willing to share such a good story with me." Rest assured, this transaction will be profitable for you. With that, he turns and walks away. Sister Tianmei watches him leave, then says to the person beside her, "He is truly a strange fellow, clearly a person of high status, yet he enjoys wandering the mortal world." The man then says to Sister Tianmei, "Master, although there has been some business interaction with the heavenly demon sect recently, the Patriarch has never personally participated and has had no opportunity for contact at all." Sister Tianmei replies, "We cannot be too hasty, because the Empress is very powerful. If we're too aggressive, we might expose our identity from beyond the domain. Let's wait and see. By the way, old two, have you found out who the two foreign emperors were? The ones who recently died at the hands of the Patriarch?" The man responds, "Master, I apologize, but there are currently no more leads." Sister Tianmei tells him, "Continue the investigation, and be careful not to alert the snake in the grass." Be careful not to alert the snake in the grass is an idiom that means, don't act carelessly in a way that makes the other party aware and cautious. The man bows his head and says, "Yes." Meanwhile, deep within the underground prison of Dongxing Kingdom, a fearsome beast is being held captive. The prison warden and several guards are stationed nearby, keeping a close watch. At that moment, Ning Tian and the Grand Elder arrive. Ning Tian asks the system, "This is?" The system responds, "Host, this is a fourth-tier demon beast, the sealed Flame Lion King. However, it appears to carry the bloodline of an ancient beast king within. I suggest capturing it." Hearing that, Ning Tian says, "Only fourth tier? So low. Forget it. Considering your decent momentum, I will reluctantly accept you." Just then, the Flame Lion King lets out a thunderous roar, and the sheer force of it causes the surrounding guards to retreat in fear. Ning Tian says to the guards, "It has quite the temper. Open the cage." The Grand Elder quickly advises, "Patriarch, this demon beast has an unknown origin." Opening the cage recklessly, before he can finish, Ning Tian interrupts him, "It's fine. You all step back a bit." The guards hesitate for a moment, standing silently in front of the cage. Then one of them moves forward and starts unlocking it. As the cage opens, the Flame Lion King roars and charges straight toward Ning Tian. But Ning Tian simply stands there calmly, unmoved. The Flame Lion King halts, locking eyes with him in silence.